The conversation and attitude towards mental health has shifted in the last 10 years. It started with charity campaigns that were later founded by government and lottery, and now gone mainstream across big broadcasting, producing content on mental health issues. The topic of mental health is no longer a taboo, and more of us are joining in the conversation, but many of us still have questions. My name is Kaliobi, and I welcome you to People's Voice. Today we'll be discussing mental health. Stay tuned. We'll go on this short break. I'm still with you.
Mental health and well-being are as important as traditional health and safety.
More working days are lost each year due to poor mental health than to physical injuries or illness.
There are a lot of terms used to talk about mental health and well-being. How familiar are you with them?
Mental health is something we all have.
It's a measure of our overall sense of mental well-being.
Sometimes our mental health is good.
Sometimes it's not.
It's not always big things that cause poor mental health.
In fact, it's quite often a build-up of much smaller things.
The important thing to remember is that people react differently to different things.
If you're the one experiencing poor mental health, talk to someone else about it. Don't keep it to yourself.
Welcome back from that break. You're still on People's Voice with me, Kaliobi, and today's topic is quite interesting. It's on mental health, and I'm not doing this alone. I am with Onyidamola Lamidi. I love that name.
Thank you.
And you have the honey sign on your head.
Yes, like that's my brand.
Honey.
Actually, my brand name is Onidam.
Wow.
So Onidam, you know, like kanji dam. Oni keeps pouring.
Oh. I think I need to change my name to that. I always have people that come on the show that want to steal from their name. Wow. So damn. So yes, let's go back to our discussion for today. So we're discussing on mental health, and I know a lot of people, it's like a taboo when you say you're going through frustration or depression. Even your parents will not understand. Your friends. I remember when I once called one of my friends in the middle of the night, and I said I can't sleep, and the answer I got was, "Are you having a problem with your boyfriend?" So,
I think that's the only thing.
That's the only thing. That's why I can sleep. That's why I'm having insomnia. So, and when we go into the word mental health, what do you understand by it?
Okay, mental health, from my own perspective, is the ability, one's ability to cope with stress, life, everything about life. As in, how can you handle life generally? So
life on its own is like a calculator. You keep
it's
calculating.
like a course in the university. If you can study life as a course in university, in fact, maybe 7 years, you are not still.
I don't think you'll be done in 7 years, 100 years.
And it's not law.
So how can one tell if someone is has a mental health issues? How can one tell?
One can tell if someone has a mental health issue, right?
Yes, issues. Yeah.
Suddenly they stop talking to people. They stop talking to people. They see the life, as in life is always like backwards to them. They see everything as if it has turned its back to them. The life is no more interesting. Activities that make people interesting does not interest them again. They just feel that they lack of interest in everything.
Yeah, because I remember one of my friends when she got to a point when she like shopping became her happiness. When she's sad, she's shopping. When she's happy, she's shopping. But I got to understand, I got to realize that it wasn't actually making her happy. She's trying all she can to run away from people and shut herself out from the world.
To make herself happy.
Yeah,
but I feel that your friend, if you ask her very well, while she's shopping, there's this, she's not even getting that happiness. She's just doing it for the sake of, okay, let me just take my mind off it. If you look deep down, that happiness is not there. So she's just doing it that, okay, let me just do it for the sake of, okay, just to make myself happy. But it has not solved the problem. It hasn't solved the problem.
Okay, so let me go personal. Do you mind?
Okay.
Have you ever found yourself in such situation?
A lot. Like it happened when I was in primary school, where and what causes mental health issue is low self-esteem. When you don't believe in yourself, and when people around you are making you see that you can't bring out something good out of anything you are doing. Like now, primary school, they're always looking at me that I don't know anything, I'm a dullard. And secondary school, I got an award, and I'm just looking at, okay, people say I cannot do anything, but I'm getting an award and I'm doing great in school. So, and also, where I did my IT, I just don't want to mention the name, the workers there, they had a lot of, they were talking to me like I cannot bring out something good, that anything I do is not good. So if I take like maybe the work they've given to me to check out, they'll say this is not it, they'll trash it. So I felt, and me that have been trying to cope with low self-esteem, they also added, I think they had fire to it.
Yeah.
So when they had to let me go, but before letting me go, they really frustrated me. Yeah. So they added to the low self-esteem that made me more depressed. So now when I was leaving, they told me that, so the lady called me and told me that nothing good can come out of you, that you cannot make it. Like, I was crying. And this is a lady that I love to be excellent, I love to be great, I want to impact lives positively, and you are telling me that nothing good can come out of me, despite my struggle. My strength, my wanting to cope with life, and wanting to cope with not coming from a well-structured home, because my mom is a single mother. So all those kind of things as an added to it is like salt adding to the injury.
The injury. Yes.
So as in that was where also really affected me, because it affected me when I went back to school. Like that was my when I went back for my school, that's NG. So really, when I went back after I finished my CWES, the thing affected me. I could not think again. Anything they taught me in class was just like, I was just looking like a dummy. I was even surprised when I came out with distinction.
I think with the whole depression and the frustration that one goes through, there's always this light, this shiny light that tells you that you have I think within you, you know, yes, you keep telling yourself I can do it, but to the outside world I'm done.
Yeah.
So what are the symptoms we want to know? Because people look at you and say, oh, is she really depressed? But what are the signs? What are the symptoms that one shows? Yeah.
Okay, one of the signs I showed was I don't want to talk to people. Like, if people call me, I cut the call. And part of the signs is that things that interest you, like I love singing, I love dancing. I was losing interest. All what was on my head was, what is my purpose of living? When someone starts asking that question, that person is facing mental health issue. That means the person is thinking that, okay, now I don't need to live again. Let me just die, because nothing good can come out of me again. So part of the symptoms is they don't talk to people, someone that you know that is jovial, that happy. You just see the person calm or giving oh God, all those kind of thing, like breathing heavily, like giving signs, not happy. Okay, someone that talks for a long while, talking short, and maybe the person is always you play together, you go out together. Person, I don't feel like going out. I just want to stay indoors.
People, before we came on air, right? I said something. Okay. I told you a story, and I will never forget the day I had to walk all the way from Oshodi to Ojota, and it was when I got to Ojota that I remember that, girl, you've been walking. It was strange, but it happened. I got to Oshodi. I came up from somewhere. I can't remember. That was in 2017. And I walked from Oshodi to, and when I got to under the pedestrian bridge, that's when I Kali. I called my full name, and Kalistine, and I mentioned my native name, Nkem Nasoya. You've been trekking. And that's when I knew depression has gotten to will I call it 100% to 0%, as in there's no so it has gotten to that volume or to that level that it couldn't be controlled. And I walked to my house. The only thing I would remember was the next morning. I was in the bed and I had the whole family around me, and I was like, the question that came out from my mouth was,
Why do you need to leave me to
Why
die?
did you pray for me?
Let me go.
Because I knew my mom would have been praying. Like, why did you pray for me?
Let me
So
go.
it's really quite bad.
It's very bad.
It's very, very bad. And I think it's something everybody should put into
Consideration.
yes, and something should be done about it. Yeah. So when we look at the signs, we also look at the causes.
Okay.
What causes this mental health?
Okay, causes of mental health are maybe from little or maybe as a child, maybe your background.
Yeah, that's one of it.
One of it, your background.
Yeah, background.
Like me now, my mom's a single mother, and you know, a single mother trying to struggle to take care of her kids, she's always shouting at us that, leave me alone, all those kind of things.
Because I think she
has her own to cope
with.
She brought us into the life, into this world, and we cannot count on our father, so we have to count on her. We have to talk to her. So there's no that, leave me alone, get out, all those kind of things. She's a nice person. She's caring, she's loving, but for the fact that she's carrying the load of two persons, so because of I came out with that background, so I felt depressed. Like there was no fatherly love, and even people I thought I was going to see love, they turned their back, they were mocking me. So background one, two, low self-esteem. I'm always saying it. Someone that feels that my life, nothing good can come out of my life. So like that, I cannot do this thing. I cannot do it. So, and I also think that maybe part of it too is also peer pressure. Yeah. Like now, I as a person, if I see my friend, maybe like now I saw one of my friend doing something, I said, I wish I can. I've not gotten to this part and I was feeling depressed, and my spirit said, your person is different from my person. Your time is different from my time. Don't think like that. So peer pressure too. Looking at your friends where they've gotten to, wanted to get there, whereas your own path is different from their own path. For sure. It's just like twins. Even though you came out from the same womb, that does not mean they are going to go the same way. Even though Taye is great, that does not mean Kendi will be great.
Yeah.
So I just feel peer pressure, low self-esteem, your background, and also people stress too. Yeah. Stress, and also I would say the economy too. Yeah. Because the economy is tiring. The environment, the economy is tiring. When you are struggling and you're not seeing the results. I think life itself. All these things just come from life. Just come from life.
And I want to, we're going to go on a break, but before we do that, I want to tell you guys, it is not only when one comes from a single home that means that person is goes into that depressed. Or even people that have their parents with them. Yeah. They still go through the same thing. So let's go on this break. You're still with me, Anoyi Damola. Welcome back from that break. You're still on People's Voice with me, Calliope, and I still have Oni Damola. I call her Oni.
Thank you.
With me, and we're still on the topic for today: mental health issues. Yes, I have to add the issues. The issues have to come. And we still have so many questions we'll be asking. No so yeah. And this one is: how can one maintain mental health?
Okay.
The challenges that come.
Challenges.
Yeah.
The way one can maintain mental health is fine. You know, at that point, there is no interest again.
Yeah.
So you have to do something that will bring back the interest. Okay, is that if you can, like now, how I maintained mine was that I love listening to music.
Okay.
So I listen to music that gives me positive vibes, in the sense that gives me that positive saying, like, now I am blessed, okay, I can do exploits, all those kind of songs that their lyrics are really saying what I want.
So I need to actually cut you a little bit, because you find out that I like the way you said I listen to music that
the lyrics
will impact something like positive. But if you find out some people will listen to music that will even make them go, I don't want to use the word,
make them more depressed.
More depressed, like when you go and listen to some, I don't want to call out the names of songs, but if you hear some stories of how people walk out on the street and they pull out guns and they start shooting, they'll say maybe there's a particular song they just finished listening to or something. So I like that word when you made that sentence, like you're listening to songs that impact
the lyrics. So if I see that and that time when I saw that, okay, this thing is getting to me too much. So I play music and I listen to the lyrics. I'm not listening to the tune now, it's the lyrics. And I reciprocate, like I say back what they're saying, so that it gives me some kind of, okay, move, that, okay, let me keep going. Okay, and it helps me to relieve. And also, what one can also maintain by talking to people too. Talking to people, not just your friends, talking to people that you can confide in, and they'll be confidential with you.
That's on that issue that a lot of depressed people used to have, because you lose you get to a point you don't even believe in friends.
You don't believe in friends,
because you feel you're talking to this person and this person is using
your story, your back,
using your story as
like the headline,
to another person.
Yeah.
So it's I'm just wondering, if you I remember when it was happening, a friend of mine would tell me that, Kali, I see a lot of people like demons around me, and why will I even talk to demons? So how do you cope to still manage to talk to friends?
Manage to talk to friends.
When a lot of people that go through depression say, oh no, I can't talk to my friends.
Okay, now I'm sure out of all your friends, you still see one or two that is responsible, and not just, it's not that all of them are not responsible. That you still see one that you feel that if I tell this person, you've been with the person for like years, and you know that this person is just like your sister, someone that, okay, anything that concerns you is like the person carries it like with great care, that this person is my person. So my instinct chooses friends. Like I select friends. So I know the friends that can stab my back. I put them on the place of just normal colleague. But friends that I turn sisters, I know what they can do. So I just look out one or two. Even they know if I'm giving those signs, they will just talk to me and say, "Oh, you started again," stuff like that, and they start talking to me. But I'll just advise that it's better to talk to a professional, that is a counselor, someone that knows the ethics of his or her job, that can keep it confidential.
So how do you frequently have little pressure or interest in things you enjoy, like things you still do and you enjoy? How do you have pleasure in them?
Okay. Is it while the issue
is on or before it, and there's some things you said you listen to music, but how do you enjoy it while the issue is on?
Okay. I don't enjoy it, but I have no choice than to listen to it, so that it won't lead to maybe something suicidal, maybe committing suicide or stuff like that. Because it got to that point that I was just walking on the road, I just said, car should just hit me. I don't have any purpose in this life. What is my gain? What is my living? So what I do is that, I lose interest, but I just try to listen to it over and over again. I know that by the time I listen to it, and by the time I do some exercise, and I love dancing too, by the time I listen to it, I move my body. I know that I'll forget a little bit. And if it comes back again, I look for another way, or sometimes I just leave the house so that I'll not take knife and stab myself and stuff like that.
Something funny just went in. I just had this funny, like when you're telling yourself, oh God, my friends are rich, my friends are making it.
It happened to me.
A song now comes on air, Amy Omo Babolo. I'm just telling myself, no, I'm not trying to spite any musician, but I'm just saying, you hear this song 1 billion, and you don't even have a dime in your account, and you're depressed about your account
is going red, and you're saying 1 billion from my county. I'm looking at how is it my account? Is it miracle?
So, okay, you mentioned while you were talking, you talked about going to the right source, to talking to the right people, the therapies and the
counselor.
But if we look around, we'll find that even in companies, you think these people that we know this is now an issue. A lot of people are going through this. What do you think, in your own way, what do you think should be done for us to have these people around us, because going to these people is money.
Expensive. It's expensive.
It's money.
Because I remember that time I wanted to go to see, because I was getting a point, I said I wanted to see a counselor. I was telling one of my friends, I said I want to see a counselor. I said this is getting out of, I want to see a counselor. And she told me, she said, counselor, it's money, you're a student. How will I get the money? And I coped, I had to manage with that mental health issue. So to me, I think the government has something to do. Like, it's not only students that are going through these things, married people, even old. There's nobody that cannot happen to. So organizations, anywhere you find people, we need counselors. We need counselors because people go through a lot. Is it family? Is it health? Is it personal life and stuff like that? All academics. So even workplace. Even when you are at some point in schools, the assignment they give and all can even make your head want to go. So I just feel that they should be like, there are tons of graduates, guidance and counselors that are coming out from universities and they don't have work to do, and they are professionals, that they are good at it. So they should position them in different organizations, schools, name it, institutions, even nursery schools, primary schools. I have a friend of mine that got depressed at the age of 5. So they should have them everywhere. Pretty young. So I feel they should position them in like places like schools, institutions, organizations, job. These students will get job and they are doing what they studied in school. So definitely they are good at it. And if maybe in your office you're feeling somehow, you're not feeling too happy, you're just feeling this sad, you can just go and see the counselor in the office. Whereas the company is paying the counselor, or the government knows how to, the payment, the everything, and they talk to the person and that settles it.
Thank you so much. She got a lot to tell you guys and hope you guys learned from it. But we're not still done, because we're going to show you guys a little video, and when we come back, you're still on People's Voice.
Most of us only ever share the good things. We don't like to share how we really feel. Every morning when I wake up, negative thoughts stream through my head. Getting out of bed and pretending I'm okay takes all the energy I have. As the day goes on, the negative thoughts turn from a stream into a river. The water rushes through my head so loudly it's hard to concentrate in lessons. And some days it's so bad it feels like a waterfall that's trying to pull me over the edge. Everything is so overwhelming. I didn't think my friends would understand if I told them how down I was feeling. But when Sasha opened up to me about how stressed she was feeling, I told her. I wasn't sure how to bring up how I'd been feeling, so I started by saying that I didn't feel like myself. Just her listening made me feel like she understood. She told me some things that had helped her, so I tried them too, but it didn't make much of a difference. Even when I tried to be around my friends, I felt alone. The things I used to enjoy weren't fun anymore.
I was really worried about Andre and not sure what to do. He was quiet and wasn't hanging out with us like he used to. So I asked our head of year for some advice. He suggested I get Andre to speak to him since his negative feelings weren't going away.
I didn't want to speak to our head of year, but I also didn't want to keep feeling so down, so I went. He said that sometimes we have overwhelming feelings that can be more intense than our everyday feelings. These feelings hang around for a long time and change the way we feel, think, and behave. They can stop us doing what we want to in life. That's what I was going through. He also said that if we're physically unwell, we let people know, we ask for help. It should be no different with mental health. Sometimes our overwhelming feelings are brought on because of things in our life. Sometimes they happen for no reason at all. After hearing this, I felt much less alone and it felt good to talk. Scientists have found exercise can help when you're feeling low, so our head of year encouraged me to sign up to the school football club, which Sasha was already in. I still have days when the river is there, but now I'm beginning to understand my mental health. I'm learning how to cope. Our head of year reminded me that my friends, family, teachers, and lots of others at school are there to help just as much as he is. I had no idea the people around me could be so understanding. And while it's not always easy to talk about my mental health, the person I'm talking to might be able to help. If you don't feel like talking, that's fine. You could try writing, sports, reading, art, music, playing with your pet, whatever makes you feel better.
If you're the person someone talks to when they're struggling, just listen with no pressure or judgment. You don't have to have the answer. If you feel unsure about anything, you can speak to a trusted adult. Talking about mental health doesn't have to be difficult. After all, it's something we all have.
Hope you guys enjoyed that little video that will show you guys an awareness of mental health. So I'm going to say a very big thank you to Onyi Dams. That's Onyi
Dam.
Only Dam. Wow, still Onyi now.
Onyi Dam.
Thank you so much. And I know if we stay here, you guys will not want us to go, because today's topic has to do with the heart, mental health. Everybody. Yes, so thank you so much, and we got your back, and we'll continue to hold your hands and walk through this with you. And remember, you guys should know that the symptoms of depression vary from one person to the other and often include feeling low, numb, worthless, or without hope. And you might find yourself sleeping too much or little, don't eat properly, or withdraw from social contact with friends and family. Some people will even have thought about self-harming or suicide. There are a lot of reasons why someone might feel depressed, but sometimes there isn't any obvious reason. It might be caused by a difficult life event, losing a job, relationship difficulties, or physical health problems like illness or disability or low self-esteem. But please remember, a lot of people are looking up to you, and you stay alive and be good. And please talk to someone, anyone. Don't forget the judgment that comes after it. Just speak out, and you'll be alive for us all, and for you, Onyi Dams too. So be good and stay alive from me to you. Bye.